Okay.
Like on the inside of the pole.
Make sure.
All right.
When I say
anything
myself,
good.
it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
So yeah, but before we get into any of the conceptual stuff, let's just kind of do a vibe check. So let's just play for a minute, improvise, do a little jam session, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty of it. Fair? So first things first, I think Ryan, just give us a groove, and let's see where we build off of from there.
All right.
So let's just have a little think here. What did we feel worked? What did we feel didn't work? Also, this is about, often I talk about this aspect of just emotional management. How did it feel? You know, anything that comes to mind, any thoughts and feelings off the bat. I will eat chips.
I feel like I couldn't hear the bass.
Yeah, I know it. Only I heard it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could hear you, but it was low for sure.
That's what I thought, and it was like almost all the way up too.
It was,
So
it
that
was,
means
it
it was
was
definitely.
Nice. That's better.
Can you give me a beat? I want to see how loud I am.
At least now I can feel the vibration of it.
Yeah,
Before
because
it
like
was just
I know
like-
I could hear me, but I wasn't sure if everyone else could. Yeah.
That's all.
True. Agreed. Okay. Anything else? Thoughts, feelings?
Felt very reggae.
Yeah, I mean, when you started playing the reggae,
I was
things,
about to
like,
say,
all right,
it's just
that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
I don't know if my basing matched it, but it's just like I felt it was a vibe, like happy accidents.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I thought we had a solid groove.
Yes.
Nikki, I would love to hear what your experience was.
I loved it. I don't know. I love the drumming. I thought it was it was symbiotic.
I was just expecting you to come in.
Yeah, I know. I kind of held back. I didn't know what sound should come from me. I was waiting for a response to respond to what I was hearing, but I didn't know how. And normally I go to instead of anything else. So like that didn't sound right to go you know what I mean? To this.
So you did hear something.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you didn't know how to access it? Is that a fair way to put it?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna dig into that. Ryan, how'd you feel? You feel?
Well, yeah, I mean, the bass was kind of low, so if I started playing louder, I was like, oh, I can't really hear anymore. So I was trying to like regulate my own volume. Obviously, we're in a house, and so we can't be that loud and got everything muted and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was fun. Also, I'm just trying to get used to the feel of like the pedal. You know, like it takes a little while to get accustomed to it, like a different kit.
Yes.
So I feel really kind of like a little bit off kilter, but I feel that like we can keep playing. I'll get into it in terms of the feel of the kick drum, especially.
Yeah, I actually think this is a great model for what it's like at a jam session versus a show, right?
Sure.
Because I'll say, you know, okay, there are like two possibly opposing philosophies. Like I have a friend of mine who subscribes to the idea of mise en place. Have you guys ever heard of that? It's a French term which means everything in its place, basically. And that's a way that like professional chefs, trained chefs, will make sure that everything is always in the same location all the time so that they don't even have to think about it. It's like when they're like, I need sodium, their body just like, you know, and they just reach for the salt or whatever. Like whatever ingredients they need is always organized in the same way to minimize variation. That is one philosophy that there's validity to, I think, especially in practice. However, in the real world, even in a gig that you prepared for and, you know, you set up the stage and, you know, when you're dealing with the sound man, you're dealing with bum cables, you're dealing with, the bass drum is flying away. It's literally just walking off into the next room. Like, there's always some level of variable. So I think what jams can be is a great training in that practice. Like, how do I adapt? How do I find comfort, or how do I recover from those variables?
Yeah.
You know, how do I like get comfortable on a kid I've never played, and you're like halfway realizing like this is kind of really need to put the snare a little higher, or like whatever it is. That being said, so I want to just talk about like, let's start with just kind of like, I guess I'll say like least common denominators or lowest barrier of entry. I think the rhythm section did a great job of just like playing something that felt good and solid. And then I want to talk about how we can like, okay, how do I inject myself into this? Especially when you don't feel like divinely inspired, because I think that's also a component of the jam as well, which I appreciate. Some nights I don't. But part of why I like running jams is the experience of being like, okay, I'm throwing myself under the bus a little bit. Some nights I'm not feeling it. the thing. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, when that happens, how do I still engage? How do I get into music? How do I start stretching to get to a jog, to get to a run? Does that make sense? Okay. So, all right. So let's just like a couple things. So the first thing, because I think I would categorize like the jam has like 3 stages. There might be a 4th. We'll see. But the first stage is the one which usually gets. No, that's the first stage. That's the stage that gets skipped most commonly because everyone's in a hurry or they're feeling a pressure from play. You know what I mean? Like, so what you're doing right now, yes, setting yourself up for success. This is the mise en place. Like, how controlled can I create this before I start? Things are gonna happen, but it snowballs from wherever you start from, right? So you can set yourself up well by saying like, okay, I feel comfortable with the setup. Do I feel like the volume is appropriate? You tuned up? So do we feel like we're hearing each other? Even asking each other questions. Every time I say to everybody like, oh, let's jam, usually no one speaks to each other. Like there's some unwritten rule like where you're just supposed to, well, I'm just supposed to go. It's like, no, it's like, hey, can you hear me? You ask. We can have those conversations before we start.
You know, mise en place is a verb, right? To put in place. Like you have to do it. It just doesn't happen. You have to do it.
Right. Yeah, and so yeah, I'm advocating for that level of setup. So whenever this happens, there's the tangible, I guess, whatever the tactile things, like the tuning your instrument, making sure the volume is correct, making sure the stands are where you need them to be. You know, whatever you need to do to get the most comfortable you can. But then there's also the emotional management piece. Sometimes those pieces play a lot into the emotional management piece because if you're like, oh fuck, my bass is too low. Now you're not in the music anymore. Yeah. Now you're like, fuck. You know, like now if you start down this, you know, this train of what's going wrong, then that starts being a distraction. So we just want to minimize distractions. So for you, Nikki, and then I want to try to get us into an exercise so that we can incorporate these ideas. What I'll often do is you got to figure out, like, again, what is the least, the smallest entry point. For me, it doesn't have to have words. Sometimes doesn't even have to have pitch. It's usually what I'll try to aim for is one note that seems like it's in harmony with the music in order to get my engine going. If I'm not in it, honestly, you want to play that groove for us? Can we play that groove? I don't need the mic. It's fine.
The groove from before?
Whatever, just the last thing you did, just for simplicity's sake. If you remember. Yeah, whatever. It's close, whatever. Yeah, don't worry if it's exact. It's just part of improv too. So, Nikki, a couple things I might do. Number one, you don't have to come up with the original thing. Remember what we talked about on Tuesday?
Yeah.
So I might go. I listen to what someone else is doing. So that's one entry point. It's like, all right, what's happening around me? Whether it's a rhythm or a couple of notes, keeping it very, very simple. So especially from an improvisational standpoint, it's really useful to have a seed or something that's really simplistic that allows you to embellish upon. So even just da 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 da, and you start to do that too, right? Once you have your bass groove, so to speak, bass groove and bass groove, then you started to say, oh, well, what if I did this? But then you always have something to land back on. So that's a starting way to get you in alignment with the music. One other thing I want to do, I honestly would love to have us do a little tuning. I want you to feel in your body. Ultimately, what we're trying to achieve is being able to feel music theory and all these other things aside. Like, it's more like, okay, does it feel? Am I creating consonance or like a sense of sweetness, or dissonance, and like intentionally creating tension or creating this spectrum from like sweet sounds to, you could say, bitter or sour, or you could say from light to dark, but knowing and feeling in your body like, oh, this feels calm, this feels sweet, this feels quote unquote correct, right? It just feels grounded. Versus, okay, I'm gonna do something that sounds a little more like we were giving like garage band vibes. I think we were doing it. We were doing
Definitely garage.
You know what I mean? We're definitely
I'm
giving,
to this on YouTube.
just giving maybe like Pixies demo or something, you know. But so you were playing. Can you just hit that G? And I just want you to let's just match the note like we tried on Tuesday. That's right. That's right. Exactly. Get the.
It's just I think these are two different sticks.
And
Like,
they're
the weight is different, and I'm like.
That was a test.
Feel
Pass. So Nikki, I just want to see if we can get that note together. Can you sing with us? Can you also do? Okay, let's see if you can try and hold that note out. Okay, try to just a little higher. Beautiful. Okay, so now do you feel that in your body? Do you feel how it feels aligned?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's the practice, and the more that you jam and you experiment,
Right.
you know, there's gonna be times you're gonna sound. I'm a jazz musician, so I like the out stuff. I like the weird stuff. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid of the weird stuff, but you need to know when and how. Going back to our cooking analogies, like like the out stuff is like, how spicy do you want the dish? You know what I'm saying? If everything is outside, if we're all outside at once, now it's just gonna give you a stomach ache. But if you put the right amount of spice, then it adds so much to the flavor of the dish. But so then you could say consonants are playing inside, or where that feeling we were trying to meditate on, that's us being inside. That's us like finding that grounding point, right? So let's go back to that groove one more time. And I want you to just try and find that note, and I'll help you with that, and then we're gonna build from there. Yeah? All right. Ronnie, give it to us. Good. Right, yeah, bring it down just a little bit. Yes. Okay, and now here's the magic. We found the note. So now all you gotta do is be a little bit more rhythmic with that. Don't worry about all these fancy other notes, try to reach for those other notes, and then just come back. Okay, great. Now let's build off of that. So one other thing that can be really helpful is sometimes it's nice to use a word, even if it's one word, because your voice is also actually already attenuated or built. It's used to making certain sounds, and for clarity and for notes. Like I think also as an actor and someone who has vocal training in that space, you just find one word, and I want you to be more conversational with it. Can you think of a word, any word? What did that music make you feel? What's a word that music made you guys feel? What are some words? Anybody?
Oh, anybody? Okay.
Chill.
Chill, okay.
Honestly, garage band.
Okay, garage band.
Right, no
It
feeling.
can be anything.
Right?
Ryan, tell
no,
the
I
truth.
felt that.
Tell the
Like,
truth, Ryan.
It was the first thing I
Neutral.
thought of.
Neutral?
Honestly.
Big
Very.
neutral.
Feeling neutral.
Very mid.
Very neutral.
What about you, Nikki? What's a word? What is it?
Dance.
Really?
Dance?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt
What
like
kind
a
of dance
beat.
would you do to it?
I don't know, like
Little
a beat, like a
auntie
dance,
dance.
like a, you know.
Just a tiny.
I felt like kind of like this.
torso
Like
side
if I was at, you know, a
Okay.
party or a bar, I'd be like.
I mean, maybe a body roll.
Okay, so maybe. So literally say any of those words, but you can just be like, dance.
Yeah.
Da 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 dance, dance, let's dance. Well, that's David Bowie, but you know, you could do that.
That might be a vibe.
Honestly.
Try something like that.
Yeah. But again, I'm just trying to get you comfortable with like,
Yeah.
don't
It felt
overthink
like
the
sassy.
process.
Sassy.
Okay.
It was sassiness.
Yeah,
Fancy, you know.
and I think even think less about singing
Yeah.
and think more about having a conversation. This song makes me feel like dancing. I'm just trying to find a way, get my feet to move. Da 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 da. Like even if you're just playing with a couple notes, but just
Yeah.
more so have a conversation. Allow that
Yeah.
to be the movement. Okay, I also want to give you guys. I don't want you guys to get bored as hell or whatever. Groove sounds good. I want us to try and find some layers to our playing. So what I might suggest is one of the other components to the jam, right? We talked about the first stage, which is the prep part, right?
Hello.
And then the second. Hey, good to see you. And then the second, which I would say is kind of what we just did, which is like, all right, well, what are the chords? What's the bass? Like, what's the bass structure of the music? But then the third part, that's the part that I particularly enjoy, which is like the improvised arrangement. Being able to take that bass idea and be like, oh, well, okay, yeah, what if you doubled up the rhythm on the bass? Or, okay, or you learned that melody part, or like ways that we can start creating dynamicism and variety in the music. So I want us to start trying to approach that. So we have our bass idea, right? But like part writing, like one thing I'll say, because I've been talking about this lately, how like drummers nowadays don't have the same approach, it seems, as like old school guys who used to like, there would be a fill in the like when Quincy Jones had a drummer, that fill was composed. You know what I mean? It wasn't just chops. It was like, no. This is, and you remember those fills because it was like a distinct idea, a motif that they came back to again and again. So I want to see if we can start building that kind of motif development. The way you would do that And I want to hear your question. I feel like you're giving me those
I feel
inquisitive
like you
eyes.
might give me the answer, so say what you're gonna say, and then if it's not the answer, I'm gonna ask it.
Okay. I was just gonna say the way you do that is like develop like a lick or like a line, and then just reference it. Come back to it. Like don't feel like you have to come play like a different lick every time that you're like moving away from the main groove.
Okay.
Like find one. Sometimes what's in a group in a jam you may like play a few things you're like but one you're like when you feel and now that starts to become something that you can build upon, and then once you have those two layers, then another layer gets built and another layer, right? But so like basically just find a lick that you like and then try to replicate it as part of the groove to start building on the groove you have already. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay, it kind of does answer my question. 'Cause I was gonna say, like, isn't that what I was already doing? But, like, I see what you mean now.
Okay, yeah. I mean, try it out. And if we're not, that's what we're here for, to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but is that fair enough? We're gonna try and build some parts, see if we can create some different texture in the music, so it's not. I guess there's nothing wrong with neutral, but maybe we want to get beyond neutral.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So we do that. You remember your assignment?
Yes. Conversation. Yeah.
Conversation. Yeah. Just talk to us about it.
You want someone to talk to?
I was gonna
People here.
see what happens, and then we were gonna get a conversation after that.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's you read my mind.
I was thinking this is like, I have my assignment, but I'll sing to you. I don't care.
No, don't worry.
We'll all sing really badly and then make you feel better.
Yeah.
Right? And then
I
I'll
like
make it funny.
Sesame Street. I love this.
All right, let's try it. Go ahead, Ryan. Let's kill us off, Ryan.
Can we do like slightly different feel or?
Yeah,
do
do
you
some-
No. You. That's
Yeah,
that.
it has
Let's
to
be
be the
creative
same.
with it.
Feels good. What is
talking in front of I was trying to stop. I'm sorry. But we came up
I
with our
forgot
band's
that song.
name. It's a tribe called SideQuest.
Okay, alright, that's kind of fine. That's kind of fine.
Is it worth
Worth it, worth it.
What would the song be about?
Adventures.
About?
Adventures.
Side quest.
Our SideQuest.
Everything.
Side quests can be.
Are there NPCs?
Like
I
they're
was
drumming.
saying because I automatically think video games, but at the same time,
Like
it doesn't have to be
side
video games.
quest, like random hobbies in your life. Like we were talking about, they're drumming in a Halloween parade. I'm like,
Yes.
So you're just telling
Tribe Called
stories.
Side
This band's just not telling stories.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty fire.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, guys. So what was our observation? What were we feeling? Doc, do we feel like we made progress? Are we standing still? What do we
I
think?
felt like I did something that could be in the song.
Say it one more time.
I feel like I did something that could be in the song.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know anything's a song, but like a song I would actually play in front of a bunch of strangers.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it.
Yeah. Nikki, how did you feel this time?
I felt more open, you know, but I do feel like I have to close my eyes to really listen in and allow myself to be in the present moment, but I gotta learn how to be a little bit more confident in opening my eyes and seeing you guys play and not feel self-conscious of what I'm doing. So I'm closing my eyes to feel like, okay, can I go deep within and get the response that I need?
Right.
Really listening in, but can I also open my eyes while doing that? So I am kind of dealing with that. But I felt very present, like you said conversation, so I was like, I just went with whatever was going on inside.
Right, and you were expressing. You were yes, and I think don't neglect that. Like that's a really good hack or a tool.
Mhm.
You like ultimately it is also a good tool to be able to see what's happening in the
Yeah,
room and stuff like
yeah.
that. But what's most important, first and foremost, is like allowing yourself to express and getting yourself to that place of comfort, so you can let that thing come out. And no shade to my instrumentalist friends, but we get to hide a little bit behind our instrument. And so, you know, there's like a level of vulnerability to the voice, and so it's like, all right, so what can I do to get myself? Sometimes you need the whole world to disappear, so you can just hear and see what you need to see.
Yeah.
So, you know, keep that in your toolkit.
Yeah.
Like if you're feeling like I don't feel comfortable or I don't feel grounded, like allow yourself to close your eyes. Allow yourself to like let everything else melt away.
Yeah.
And then as you do that more and more, you might
You learn
you might,
gradually.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, a good starting place. Good job. Good place to start. I would actually love also. I would love for you to sing on the next one. Let's maybe switch
Yeah,
it. Yeah. Switch it out.
I still feel
My
like
butt
the
hurts
color
again.
response would have been great for
Yeah,
that.
I gotta get you.
That was
Look,
beautiful.
there's
And so was your shirt.
This one,
hold on. This yeah.
last time too, I was sitting down.
I'm sorry, I forgot. But the importance of cushions.
I feel I only like sitting in those chairs when I can like
you
somehow
can
crisscross
grab that
out
chair.
across.
The rolly chair
Yeah.
has a little cushion and a back.
Oh, great.
I mean, yeah. If you want to sit over here, or I can bring it over.
You should.
Oh, right there.
Yeah, put it wherever you want.
Oh, yeah.
It's yours. Your throne.
Aw.
All right. Okay, so yeah, I personally love this because this feels like a very real example of what the jams are like, which is like, okay, how do we meet each other wherever we're at? How do we make the music sound the best it can sound versus our own preconceived notions about whatever we walked in there thinking we were supposed to do or who we are necessarily, right? So like, I'm gonna just give a random example because before the jam became this thing with like tons of musicians and stuff, like it was mostly just me with my loop station and making beats and stuff and singing and rapping. But I would invite people who were just attendees, whatever, customers at Artichoke Pizza to come sing. And sometimes, I mean, it's Bushwick, so sometimes someone will come in there and they just came off of their show from Broadway or whatever and they just wreck it. And then somebody comes and they're just drunk and they've never sung before. And sometimes, and this is the thing, I think sometimes as musicians, because we start prejudging, or not even prejudging, just judging. Like once a sound is established and it doesn't fit our ear the way that we want it to go, a lot of us just give up right away. That's my observation. But there's an opportunity there if you're like, okay, like this is where I kind of think of myself like if I'm like a producer, okay, all right, these are the tools. Like for me, the challenge and the joy was like, okay, how do I make this work? So like when someone comes drunk and they second time singing in their life or whatever, how do I make this sound good? You know, I used to make it that reverb button,
Reverb and delay.
reverb and delay does wonders when someone's really pitching. It's let's do that. Ambience, anyway.
Why
No
does
shade
that
to
work?
anybody. Huh?
Why does that work?
I would like to know that.
It covers up the
Yeah, it like blends it. There's something, it makes it feel
Fuzzy,
warm.
like fuzzier.
Yeah, so the I think the inconsistency in the pitch just it starts to
It's like what you
wash
say
it.
about unity, like when a lot of people are singing and then it comes together and it's like it doesn't matter if anybody is a good singer, but it just like multiplies their voice, kind of.
Yeah,
Like
well,
that
I
type
mean,
of-
you're literally reverb is the sound of a vibration bouncing off of the room, and they've digitally harnessed that, so now you can add that to anything. But yeah, it's the warmth of the space. It's like the vibration, the fundamental vibration, and then the vibrations of everything else interacting. So it's like it creates complexity. The same way like multiple voices can do that. You know what I mean? So that's like so that's one hack I would use a lot. I'd be like, but the point I'm trying to make is it's like, okay, I'm usually, especially as a more experienced person, I'm like, okay, how can I kind of humble myself before the music and say like, okay, well, what is this music asking for, based on people's skill sets and talents. And sometimes when you're a more advanced player, like I think that's like, I just think it's super important, and a lot of people don't emphasize that, but you get a lot out of that. So what I want to try and do is let's talk about like, how do I encapsulate this in a question? Like, honestly, maybe this will be fun. Maybe. What do you guys think of each other?
First impressions?
First impressions musically. Like, what would you guess your background is if you could see? Like, what would you guess the kind of music they listen to, or like what are your impressions of each other?
Musically.
Musically.
I feel like that should be implied, but at the same time, like, how long has it even been?
No, I mean, you don't.
30 minutes.
I got here an hour ago.
That's a conversation.
So at least 45 minutes.
That's a conversation,
Okay.
What do you feel like, Yusuf? Like, what do you feel like if you had to guess anything, what would you have to, you think of Ryan's playing? What do you think Ryan listens to? We already know it's Offspring. Once upon a time. The Offspring, I should say. Excuse me. But anything else? What would you guess? Like, how does this drumming sound to you? Like,
Good Charlotte, not necessarily like musically, but the vibe of just it's 2003. I'm 2003 music.
2003 year, 2003.
it's giving 2003.
Like somewhere between 1996 and 2003.
Okay.
All right.
What genres would you guess? Like, what genres do you think? What comes to mind when you hear these drum patterns?
Shit. Okay. Wait. Because I'm saying Good Charlotte, but that's not really it. It's more of the vibe that Good Charlotte has. I'm just like kind of like middle America, like rock music.
Oh, I don't know that band, Good Charlotte,
yeah.
but so it's like
Saliva.
I actually don't know it either.
Maybe
I
like
mean, I've heard the name.
Saliva, but not new metal. See, a lot of these are not musically; they're more vibes. I can't like.
Say a genre, not a band.
Okay. Dad rock.
Okay.
2003 Denver.
You didn't know you were gonna get roasted?
I didn't want to play this game.
I said it would maybe be fun.
I didn't want to play.
I did say
You
maybe.
can roast me. I don't.
Okay, what about
care.
Zelda? Okay, what about
If
Zelda?
anything, I always listen to this shit. So if anything, it's not a fucking.
Yeah, you can put me on.
And I listen to it too.
Yeah, no shade in dad rock, by the way. Yeah. No shade to the dad.
One of my best friends. She fucking loves literally her whole Rita's whole personality.
Well, okay, let's backtrack just for a moment. I'm asking this specifically because another way you could look at this is like, all right, so we have a shared language of music, but we have different dialects. And so can we, how much can we meet each other in those dialects so that we're like really having the same conversation? So, and that depends on a number of things too, right? Because like, this also, it's like what they're playing, but then it's also what you listen to. And therefore, like, if you haven't listened to the same things that Ryan has listened to, you may not catch the cues that Ryan's putting down. Or he may not catch the cues that you're putting down, depending on like your musical experience or like what dialects that you speak or listen to even, right? So my point here is just to say, like, when someone, a way I think to fall into a groove, into a space, is to like start thinking like, okay, if you hear a beat, you're like, ooh, this reminds me of whatever genre or whatever space, and then you can start doing things that lean into that sound. And now we're gonna start gelling more by finding like a common space. Sometimes I feel like we have different, like maybe like we have different, like we're on different parts of the
diagram?
The what?
The Venn diagram?
The Venn diagram? Yeah.
But there are intersections.
Okay.
But I think there are intersections. So anyway, okay, I guess that being said, let me give like a practical example. And we can play more music. Let me get a chair for myself too, so I'm not just we can just be the dad corner.
The dad corner. What's like an example of dad rock?
Dad.
Three Doors Down.
Ah, yes. Oh my god.
You know what?
Creed,
You may not. This is
Three
gonna hurt our
Doors
feelings. I feel like they're gonna say something like, depending on what band you're gonna be like, oh my god, you
If
consider that
we're
old?
listening to like harder versions of it, like Papa Roach or something like that, but like that's not a harder version of that.
This is
Specifically
amazing.
like their first couple albums.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay, so here's what I would say. So usually this is my practical advice. Once I've started to get to know everybody's like dialect a little bit, I'm like, okay, depending on their skill level and their like playing style, it's like, now I'm thinking like percentage chance, like what is gonna probably gel the best in order for us to blend well together. I would say, I think, having a strong rhythm section, thank the Lord. That already makes us like way better in the percentage chance of success. But so I would say, okay, Yusef, I'm like, okay, I'm listening to you, and I'm saying, okay, you're probably going to, and let's like talk about how we can meet each other too, not just how I can meet you. But I'm gonna be like, okay, so if you're gonna be playing just a few notes, there are things that I can do that are going to work well with that. If I just started going, and I see this all the time, which is why I bring it up. It's like, okay, so we're gonna go. Okay, so we're going. Okay, like people like yeah, and then you leave the band in the dust, and it doesn't matter how cute or cool what you were playing was, because now we're not making music together. If the person can't catch it because you're talking a different dialect or you're talking too fucking fast, it doesn't matter. Now you're not communicating anymore. So the point here is, I would say, one, I know, like, at the risk of boredom, I don't think it has to be boring, but if you are playing with someone like me, not to make myself sound good, but I am. The point is that if you,
Are you gonna say what I think you're gonna say?
Huh?
Are you gonna say what I think you're gonna say?
No, it's important because what I'm saying is I don't know. I don't know what you think I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna say
Just
what I'm gonna
play
say, and
one
then maybe
type
switch thought
shit.
I was gonna say. I was gonna say that if you're playing with someone who seems like competent or like they have a lot of like chops, then it might be a good idea for you to be the control, meaning the more stable, like by playing, like for instance, as a bass player, you have a lot of control. Okay, I'm gonna try not to fly all over the place here. But you have a lot of control of where the music goes. But if you just pick a note, and then, okay, cool, good old G, great. And keep playing G. So the point is, if you do that, hey, there we go. But now this can, literally just sitting on that chord, okay, gives me a lot of space. That's right. See what I'm saying? So do that one more time. Keep going. What did I do? Oh yeah. Again. Okay. So that's just an example. I came up with some random chords, but because I can play fluidly. You staying still gave me the space to embellish on the music. You see what I'm saying? So in a lot of cases, it's a matter of what I see a lot is two people are playing the same role. Meaning, if two people are playing the active part, it makes it more likely you're going to miss each other musically. So I think good accompanists are people who are like, at least especially in the beginning, no matter how virtuosic they are, you start with a really solid, simple foundation that allows us to build something without us like, what was that? Trying to have to strain to find each other. Does that make sense to y'all?
Yes.
Okay. Honestly, I would love to. I like that. So let's play that. But now I just want to add a groove to it. So sit on that G note for now and focus just on the rhythm. 2, 3, and. Focus on the rhythm. Stay in that G, but focus on the rhythm. Oh yeah, we're getting there. Okay, hold on. But we're gonna start cooking, so I just don't want to have to stop this again. Can I see the bass for 1 second?
Oh, okay.
Here, I'm just give this recommendation. So you're not just literally sitting on one note.
Alexa said on G.
I did, and I'm adding to it a little bit. I'm just saying you can stay on G, but if you also add this note, right? Your 5 and your 1. Can you play the we have a pianist now.
I don't know what you're doing. What was the second chord?
E flat.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, D sus. To C. minor. You see what I'm saying? This is G and this is also G.
Oh, that's also G? Oh,
That's also G.
I didn't. Okay, yeah.
So those are both G.
Today years old.
And then this note here, right above.
So 5D, and 5E are both G.
Yeah, so the shape is just this. So I'm just giving you a few other options. So if you want something that you can rely on that's gonna sound in tune with everybody, then you can just hit that shape, and this works on every style of music. But once you learn this shape and you're really good at that shape, there's so many, everything kind of flows from there.
Okay, so I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna check that out.
Everything else, even anything else I'm doing, is just leading back to that. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm always landing on one of those notes.
I know, as soon as it came, I was like, yep, you the bird, I'm the cat.
Try that, but yeah, just like sit on that G. Sit on that G in the octave.
I like yours.
And we're gonna follow up on it. Thank you for the accompaniment, Ryan. We're gonna follow up on it afterwards because we can do the lesson.
Yeah,
about
we
it, too.
can.
Okay, so let's try it one more time. We were getting somewhere. 1, 2, 3. we're on the right track. Couple things. So now I feel like, again, we've gotten to stage 2. Like, I think we have a foundational groove, and now the playing together. How do we create more cohesion? How do we create more togetherness in this groove? Any ideas before I blah blah? Any thoughts? What do you think we can do?
Eye contact.
Amen. We love eye contact. Yes, that's a
I
great.
was looking at everybody. I thought that was fine. No,
I was
I didn't
looking
see
at
any
all,
weird faces.
Oh, okay. Visual cues. Look at
I
that.
need visual cues. Sometimes I get in the moment, so I might not. I say that, but I might not always catch it. But visual, if I need a look. If I'm playing, especially like what we were talking about before, like if I'm playing too low, I need a look. Like I need, just like okay, eye contact.
Okay, visual cues. Okay, that's a good point. Anything else to help us lock in more? What do we think?
I mean, paying attention to dynamics and things like that. I'm kind of like, there's a conflict with me when I'm playing because I want to play as quietly as possible when he's trying to sing or when she's trying to sing.
Yes.
But then it's harder for me to like really like get into it, to dig in if I'm playing like super quiet. And then if I start playing loud and I'm gonna start digging in and I'm like feeling it, then it's just gonna overpower.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to balance that a little bit, you know. Yeah.
Hey man, the fact that you're even thinking about that does my heart a lot of good. Because sometimes it's just like, look, I played. But yeah, I feel like we could have started creating more form. We could have started by having low dynamic points that's going to leave more space for the verse sections. It doesn't mean I think you should get a little raucous and right, but I was making this point the other day about like functionally what purpose does a chorus serve? What is a chorus versus a verse? And actually, what do you guys think? You may have already heard me say this. Pop quiz. What is a chorus to you? What does it do? What's the point of it?
That's the main idea of the song.
Okay, so
At
yeah,
least
you feel like it's the
lyrically.
topic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just the verses are the details, but then the chorus is like the main topic. This is how I feel lyrically, at least, because it's like usually repeated lines of just usually what the song's about.
Right.
Or it's just an idea of what the song's about.
Okay, yeah, and I would agree with that. Any other thoughts?
I agree. I think also, I think about chorus.
Right?
In addition to like, well, not addition, as another word for choir. So like, chorus class.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, chorus is like the main idea, but I can also think of it as like when everybody's together.
Yeah.
And
That's
the
a good point.
verses are, to me, are kind of like specific things that are going on, specific things that you're paying attention to. Or even beyond the verses, like there's like a section just for the drums, and if you want a solo, when the guitar is doing the solo.
Right.
But everything I think should be most together during the chorus.
I see what you mean. Yeah, because my interpretation is like I would agree. It's usually the topic. It's also tends to be this moment of a lot of intensity, and I think there's a practical reason for that, which is if we are trying to have the message be received, because sometimes musicians lose sight of that. A lot of in jam sessions we're just like we like the notes. We like lots of notes. But if the idea is for the message to be received, which is being transmitted either through a vocalist or some sort of voice, even if it's the saxophone part, if it's a soloist, making sure that message is received, accompanying that. Our job is to accompany that part. So that's actually even what I was talking about before, when I was like, when drunk person came to Artichoke, I'm like, okay, it's my job to accompany this person. How can I do that? I actually learned that a lot in church because, without getting into a whole nother tangent, but I guess I am, I think it's relevant. In the church, church is such a great training ground, especially like Pentecostal churches or the black church, because it is not just professionals. you'll usually have one or two people who are very good, who either can sing really well or play really good, and everybody else are just people on the block. They're at various levels of musical skill. So we may rehearse a song, or I would learn a song in one key, and they sang with me in key during practice, and then they would get to the service, and they just decided, I'm gonna sing it in another key. And then I'm like, oh shit, I should have learned this in all 12 keys. So the only option for me was for me to get better. Like, I needed to be that much more thorough to compensate for whatever situation was presented before me. That to me is what being an accompanist is. It's like, okay, how well can I accompany the message that is happening? So that's to say, in a chorus, because the idea is generally simpler, or it's something that we all easily chant or memorize, that is the moment when everyone can get loud, because it builds the energy of the music and it doesn't interfere with the storytelling. But if we're all being super loud during the verses, when the vocalist is trying to express a more complex idea, then a lot of times that message gets lost. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So from a dynamics perspective, thinking that way, like how am I adding to what is happening with the lead voice? Yeah. I was also going to add as just a tidbit for you. You sound really good. I'm a drummer as well, and I've been realizing lately, because most drummers, you practice from slow to fast, right, or fast to slow, and like, yeah, if I play from fast to slow, then I really know the beat. I would agree, but then the other axis is loud to quiet.
Yeah.
Can you play that same? Can you be as funky?
Well, that's the struggle. I'm like, man, I'm trying to play super quiet because it's just this space. I can't play loud. It's gonna overpower everything. So I'm like, man, I'm trying to play quiet, but I'm like, the groove is not where I want it to be. So, but that's why it's good practice. So I'm like, fuck, man, I gotta learn how to play super quiet, but still have it be popular. So.
Right, and that's what I was just watching like Nate Smith do a workshop, and I think he's really good at that too, right? Like, you never feel like, no matter what the dynamic range is,
I just saw him
cooking.
Last week. He had a whole like CD release thing. It was fire. Yeah,
Fire.
It was fire.
Fire. But yeah, I just wanted to add that.
My favorite drummer.
I've been telling myself, like, make sure when I play a groove, like, if I'm really being thorough, I'm also making sure I'm playing at every dynamic range.
Yeah.
You also gotta hit it. You gotta know how to like.
Yeah.
But then can you?
Yeah.
Like just. Okay, so all right, so let's circle back around. So we were talking about ways we could be cohesive. One last thing I just want to mention before I like this song. Do we like this song? Can we build upon this song?
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure this is a very sacred relationship, the drums and the bass. Okay, so making sure that like you're being like you're like trying new things out and everything, but let's see if we can make sure that it's in coordination with the drum kit. Specifically, the easiest way to say this is like listen to the kick pattern, listen to what the bass drum is doing, and see if you can be matching or in concert with that. Can we try that just that much? Can you play that groove? And I want you to listen to the groove first, and then try and see if you can match the rhythm of the bass drum.
Okay.
Just try to match that pattern. Okay, you said stop 1 second. You keep going, please, Ryan. You keep going, Ryan. That was good. That works. But now I want you to try and literally boom, 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 boom. like synergy, creating I don't want to say cohesion. I don't want to say coercion. That's different.
Cohesiveness.
Yes, cohesiveness. In terms of creating cohesiveness, again, this is like a piece about unity. It's actually, especially like it's cool to come up with your own thing, but how do you create something that sounds connected to one another, and that signals to us that we're together, right? So you can do that same pattern. God, I don't want to go off on a whole tangent about clave right now, but use that as your like skeletal structure, and even when you move notes, try not to lose that groove. You see what I'm saying? Like
So
keep
that's
that
the bass
pattern.
rhythm.
Yes, that's the bass rhythm, and then you can experiment with notes. And it also will make more of the notes, even if they're a little out, it might make it sound more intentional because that structure. You know what I'm saying? It's really a hack. If the rhythms are strong, which is also why when I was telling you to be conversational,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, the rhythms that are inherent in the voice, in the speech, that also creates a level of structure that we can recognize and adds to the music. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It helps in your body, and then it also helps externally. So okay, that being said, do you feel like, do you feel like you were finding your way in terms of the theme? You were sounding good. You were giving us good notes.
I was trying to find a story to tell. And now, as y'all were talking, I was listening as much as I could, but I was also
writing. You were writing.
finding words to say.
Okay.
So.
Okay, cool. So let's try it. Let's go for it. All right, and again, remember, just form. So let's try and pay attention to the dynamic levels where it feels like what's coming from the vocalist. Yeah? Cool.
Alright. And I felt that it is really cool.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, So I like your
I never tell when
instinct.
you're doing that if it's like good or bad.
When I'm doing what?
It's like, all right, let's do. Wait, stop, stop, real quick, just stop.
It's neutral.
That doesn't help, but okay.
Exactly. It's always both.
Okay.
It's always,
That's
we're
what
always,
neutral is.
it's the full spectrum. It's everything. Okay, so couple things. I would love. Would you also accompany them? Yeah. Come on. So you can be background vocals. You have this chorus part. Honestly, can you show them the chorus part? Like if you had like something about the spark,
Okay. Yes.
and maybe they can echo or be in unison with those parts.
Okay.
Okay, so y'all work on that for a
Okay.
second.
So this is what I was writing.
Okay, so when we went to the chorus, okay, let me remember. Crap. Yeah. Wait.
What I did?
No. It goes here. It goes.
Can I make it bigger?
So I love that you were moving notes. I think you came in at the right time to move the notes. Like when you were playing
Oh, so
the
I called the
verses.
chorus?
Because it is.
Yes.
Yay.
So when you were playing the verses,
I'm gonna think about
this is great. And then I wasn't sure if he was gonna do it. Then
I
when
thought he was too.
that's the G, right? And then it goes E flat,
This is like. I guess this is.
D minor, C.
So. I also.
I'll show
Yeah,
you G.
chords. Okay.
That we can just.
I know G, so
Oh, wait, what is the
Hold on.
6A is G? I mean, wait,
We're having an experience. Huh?
you said 6A is C or A?
This is C. This is E flat.
Oh, E flat. Okay, so 6A is E flat.
D.
D.
Each round.
C. Yeah. So I'll show you. Just look at the pattern, the hand pattern. All right. One more time.
You guys are funny.
Hear something like, oh, I want to do that too. Or do it my own way. Yeah. And then round two.
Got you.
Okay, can you try that out for me? Just you don't have to do the extra stuff yet, but just add stuff.
No, I'll try to make those of just 3, 6, 5.
Stop it. Chat asks if you swing the other way.
If what?
Chat asks if you swing the other way.
What?
Depends who's asking.
Alright.
I'm curious.
Are you cute? What's good?
It was my wrong.
Well, we love the love in the chat. They really love you. That's crazy.
You want that chord? You should have told me. I would have showed you earlier.
Yeah, no, I didn't know what you were doing on the D. The D was tripping me up.
Yeah, I was doing a lot of times. I was doing like a sus thing, and then also D minor. Seven. Yeah. Yes. Do that one more time. Yes. Okay, honestly, let's try that chorus out together. chords out. And I just want to hear what you guys are doing. 1, 2, 3 from the chorus. Okay, so let's create the background part. So again, it's just like a simplified version of what's already happening. The way I was hearing it was something like dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. So don't even worry about the words, just sing that part, guys. So together, say it at the same time as Amante. 1, 2, 3. Yes. One more time. Good. Okay, cool. That's stage 1. Now we're gonna do this in fast motion, but I think we have it. So, and what were the words? What could we add to that? Even if it's a repeating line. Because again, if we're in an improvisational context, we only might have 1 or 2 lines. It can't be overcomplicated. It could be, but for now, what were some of the lyrics you were saying?
No more waiting in the dark. Started with the spark. Story of the flame. Many, many names.
Okay, what was the first line again?
No more waiting in the dark.
Okay. Okay, how about we say, just so it fits within the phrase. So it's taking the same phrase a little bit like, not waiting in the dark. Not waiting in the dark. Started with a spark. And then just repeat that. Not waiting in a... Started with a spark. Try that. 3. Not waiting in the dark. Started with a spark. Not waiting in the dark. Started with a spark. No waiting in the dark. Did that E flat? Started with a spark. No waiting in the dark. Started with a spark. Alright, fill up this chorus. Let's keep going. Let's keep building it up gradually. Started with let's see. I think we did a good job of finding each other and finding some balance there. I want to remind you that there's a couple things that you can do in those situations as a background vocalist, right? So it's like, so one is maybe the most easy thing you can do is just create like a unison part. It doesn't have to be a harmony. It doesn't have to be something complicated. It could be one word, a couple words, a few things where you're just mimicking what's happening.
Yeah.
You also naturally kind of did like the mirror,
Yeah.
like reflecting, and that's a good way to create energy and a conversation. So that's another great tool. And then the third thing, and I think I heard y'all doing that, was once we established that da 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 as a background vocalist or whoever's in background, if you stick to that part, that allows the lead vocalist to embellish around that idea and be in conversation with that idea. So you could just keep
I was thinking of doing that.
Yeah, no, I feel like I saw it and I heard it. So like, just follow that instinct. Allow that thing to like go, because then that gives the lead more space to like move around and experiment around it.
I guess because I'm so inexperienced, I'm like, am I supposed to do the words? I was having a conversation in my mind about as I was singing.
Yeah, no, that's what this is for. But yeah, I'm giving you, those are, so again, 3 suggestions. Unison, like ad-libs, like mirror and call and response. And then there's also just like, again, playing the constant, playing the stable role, and that allows a lead to go and be more ambitious. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, great job. Any thoughts, questions, feelings about what we've done thus far?
Sounded pretty. I lost myself a few times, but like I feel like I brought it back. But definitely, it was also like I wasn't rhetorical. I also don't know if I was right, or did I feel miserable? Not feel miserably, but just more like thought I picked myself back up. At the same time, I wasn't here if I'm right or not.
Yeah, well, okay, so I have a few things. So I think this is just important. Maybe this is a good place to leave it for the night. But like this, I'm very serious about us reframing the construction of what success is in music.
Mm-hmm.
Not just so that we feel good, even though we should, because we're playing music, but also because I actually think it hinders us in our ability to get good. Because when you're in this space of, oh, am I good enough, or like, did I fail? It's like, that's not even the right question. We all do it. I do it. I've done it. But reframing it more like when you're asking this question of, okay, did I get back up? Number one, you did. Right? By continuing to try and paying attention to how the music felt for you, like when it was feeling good to you versus when it wasn't quite gelling, and then like making adjustments, that's the practice. And you only get to these levels of whatever excellence through continuing to be in that process. So it's not about failure, or it's all about failure. You can also look at it like that, if that, like it's all about failing as much as possible, and then you're gonna find things that work for you, and then things you don't want to repeat. You know what I'm saying? So you being in that dance and like saying, okay, how did this work? Making this adjustment, you were doing it. You see what I'm saying?
I forgot who said it. I think it was Thomas Edison, but it's like, I didn't fail, I found 1,000 ways that don't work. Is it like that?
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I guess, yes, I would say that, like, yeah, I don't want to get too abstract, but you're going to have a personal relationship with, like, okay, did this feel and sound good to me? And that to me is the fun, actually, because people get so worried about, I think, most of us get so worried about how we sound to everybody else, or the external validation part of it, that you're missing the fun part of it. Because it's not like I haven't had panic attacks at gigs. I certainly have. I'm just saying that. But a gig teaches you something so valuable, because when you're like, oh, and that oh moment where you're like, so I need to work on my rhythm exercises, or okay, I need to work on these are the scales I probably need to work on, or like, what about that worked and what didn't. It's giving you data, it's giving you information to build from. So like success, failure, I mean, if you're enjoying the creative process, then you've succeeded, right? But getting more into like, ooh, now you can be nerdy about the nuances so that you can make it an even more enjoyable experience for you and other people.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I forgot how we got here. I think I was just saying I think we did a pretty good job. What were we talking about? Any other thoughts about what we just did? Thoughts,
It
man?
was super dope.
That was the first time I ever sang with anybody in my life.
Come on. Give it up for that. Give it up for that.
I was like
I'm
scared.
on.
I was really scared and more self-conscious than I was the first time. Because I love your voice. I got lost in your voice, the texture of it, and, you know, and I was like, man, when I sang, I was like, I can't do it as well. You know, I was judging myself, and I was like, oh God, what do I do?
And you see, this is what I'm talking about. That's the
Yeah.
data.
Yeah.
Like and like almost being an observer yourself. Like, oh, I'm judging myself,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, so how do I work with that, and so
Right.
that I can again get to that place of freedom? How do I become more free in terms of my expression? How do I feel comfortable in this circumstance with another vocalist or new musicians or anything? You see what I'm saying? So you have new data tonight. I actually low key I wanna, if we could just close on this, I would love to hear what people's data point is for them. 1 or 2 or 5. If you maybe 5 is excessive. But if you have a few data points, like what are the things that you learn from this experience that you feel like you can take away to practice, to harness? Anything, anybody?
I know the letter notes to count.
You know the letter, you learned some new, the letters to some of the frets, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, see, because that's a dialect thing. I don't really read tabs.
That's the thing I don't like read.
Yeah.
That's
So we had to meet each other in the middle.
Right? It's really good for songs that aren't popular. Because there are some songs I really want to learn, but they're not that popular, so the bass tabs aren't out, and then the only thing that's there are like the actual like root notes, the letters, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on with that.
Ryan, did you have any nuggets, any thoughts from playing tonight?
Like about myself or the group as a whole, or
About you?
yeah, I need to practice playing like real quiet, you know, and
Mhm.
also like just gear stuff. I kind of like the way the snare drum sounds.
Good snare. It's a good snare. I like that snare.
Yeah.
I'll give you a couple, just like really quickly, a couple practical things. Of course, also there's like, you know, having rods, having brushes. There's some like,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
true, yeah.
dynamics things that showing up to any session that way, that's gonna help. Even something that's fallen out of fashion, I wish more players did. Like I was watching an old video of Philly Joe Jones, you know Philly Joe? And he played with his hands a lot.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Like he would do a solo and he would just be over here, like he was like karate chopping the drums. I just saw this clip. And that's another way to control dynamics. So like, choosing the right implement
Yeah.
can be part of it. And then the other part is like, oh, can I adjust my technique so that I can really feel the
Yeah.
groove at the different
Yeah, that's the
dynamic
big thing
ranges.
is like adjusting the technique so that you can play quietly but still like with confidence.
Yes. Yeah, and that's hard. Like I think you did really well considering like the acoustic environment. You know what I mean? Anything from you? Any thoughts? Like what did you come to in this session?
Yes, one thing this session has taught me is a little bit about making a verse like on the fly like that.
That was good.
Yeah.
Like the lyrics.
I think
Yeah,
that
it's really hard too. It's
I
awesome.
am I really like to write poetry, but I haven't written a lot of songs. So it's like trying to fit like the way that my brain creates ideas
Mm-hmm.
into like a group, like staying
Yes.
with time,
Yeah.
like bringing time to my ideas.
Yes.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is
Yes.
Sometimes you
Meter.
gotta
Interesting.
reorganize the lyrics. You gotta think of similar words that fit, that have the amount of symbols for the rhythm that
Mm.
felt that.
Or how to fit it in rhythmically.
yes, because
Wow.
with poetry, it's
Wow.
with poetry without music, it's like you can say whatever you want.
You can say whatever you want.
It's all up to you.
And you
very
can
good.
make whatever meter you want.
Right.
Because it's just you. But when there's other people who are actually making the time like for you, and you have to like fit into that, that's different.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. No, that's a great point. And I'll just say one last thing. I just want to make, if I can make a comment. I also, and maybe this is something, I don't know if y'all are going to come on Tuesday or whenever you guys are going to come next, but I want to explore, like, you're pretty soft spoken.
Yeah.
So I want to explore more. First of all, using the equipment, and then also your own like dynamic range.
Okay.
Because now that, because you know, that could be physically knowing how to safely sing louder, but then it also could just be confidence levels. It can be like, all right, do I feel comfortable like really asserting myself musically and expressing myself in that way. So I'd love to come back to some of those ideas, but it sounded beautiful. And that's what I will say in terms of it should be a musical conversation, because what oftentimes I find happens is the vocalist and the instrumentalist feel like two different universes. They're not really conversing. But if you're like, so like Ryan's trying really hard to play super quiet. But if you have the ability to speak up a little louder, or you can adjust the microphone, or like, that will make it easier for him, and therefore the music is going, whatever can make it easier for all of us to create. You see what I'm saying?
There's also like a lot of conversation happening at once for me, because it's like, you gotta balance the dynamics, you have to balance the time, you have to balance rhythm, and you have to like space things out in a way that makes sense.
Oh, music you never heard before.
Right.
Right. It's created on the fly.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
yeah. Not everybody.
It's like
People
patting your
should-
head and rubbing your tongue.
Yeah, literally, it's not gonna make
It's
it
a
all.
lot of, there's some juggling going on.
Yeah.
You know, and finding the right priorities, the right list of priorities, right? Okay, well, I think that's good. Thank y'all so much. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I know you're also talking about networking, Ryan. So if you come on Saturdays, that's a good moment to meet a bunch of musicians.
Yeah.
We kind of have this flow. Yes. So whatever we learn tonight, you can try it in real time, in real practice on Saturdays. And then on Tuesdays, again, we have the vocal workshop, and then this is band practice on Thursdays. Thank you. Clap for yourself and each other. Y'all did great. Lastly but not leastly, I'm going to come around. It's a $20 sliding scale, whatever you can do. We appreciate you. I got the Venmo and the Cash App, and Cash also works. And more music, more life.
And so.
Yeah, I'm going to.
And Zell.
Ooh, Ansel.
More music, more life.
More Zell.
More Zell. Ja Rastafari. The Most High.
Zell.
Oh, man.
Is this a theremin?
It sure is.
You have a theremin? I also see like a